I think one of the most important things that you have to keep asking yourself through any phase of training, through any phase of dieting in particular, is the juice worth the squeeze? What I mean by that is what you're doing really worth the outcome that you're chasing? Now, it's one thing to want to get lean, but it's another thing to put that desire into practice. Most people, guys in particular, start their routine thinking they want to get shredded. They want to get lean, they want to get to a point where their abs are more than just visible. Now, the reality is, to get to that level of body fat, that level of leanness, you're going to have to make some pretty serious sacrifices. The way things go is that if you are wanting to get that lean, chances are life is going to become more than just a little bit uncomfortable. Most people will have to suffer to get there. Now, if that goal revolves around a specific event or a specific show or event, then it might be bearable. You might be able to put the suffering to one side and push through until you get to where you originally aimed to be. In that case, sure, the juice may be worth the squeeze. The end result might be worth the hard effort to get there. But I think for most people that are generally just chasing better body composition to get a little bit leaner or to get in a bit better shape, more often than not, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. And that's when we start to look at sustainability, and that's when we start to look at how long can we keep doing this for. You know, for me recently, I got to a point where it felt like my lifestyle was being compromised. It felt like I couldn't enjoy my life as much as I wanted to. I think for me, I'm quite fortunate. I happen to carry a fair bit of muscle mass, which means I can diet probably on more calories than most people can. So relatively speaking, maybe it was a little bit easier for me to maintain the level of leanness that I was able to achieve in comparison to some other people. But with that said, a deficit is still a deficit, and I got to a point where my life was being impacted too drastically. And for me, it got to a point where all of a sudden the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. It wasn't worth the effort I was putting in. This is why I've started using the hashtag lifestyle gains, simply because I want to try and start enjoying my life more without my diet affecting it. I think everybody should constantly evaluate and reevaluate their approach and think to themselves, is this really making me happy? Is what I'm doing and where I'm wanting to be going really the best use of my time? And is it really going to make me happy in the long run? Sure, there will be times for me when I perhaps want or need to be a little bit leaner than I currently am as a consequence of eating more food. But until that time comes, I'm more than happy to carry a few extra pounds of body fat in order to enjoy my life an extra 50, 60, 70%. I think in the grand scheme of things, this whole training and nutrition thing is realistically only a small percentage of our lives. And really the last thing that we want is for it to consume us in a way that it makes living the rest of it near impossible. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Keep asking yourself that. Just a little bit of food for thought on a Monday night.